All right. This year's experience so far.
Oh yeah, this is pretty deep on me.
Yeah. But come on, get it out. You got this.
Pretty much it was.
He was a bad little kid. No. He's a bad little kid in school. He got sent to a military camp, and he was supposed to be there, but he ended up not being. Can you want to explain why?
So basically, cut to May 2025. I get kicked out of school. I do bad thing. I say bad word to bad stuff. I do bad thing. I throw chair. I slam door. I be bad kid. Right. I be bad kid. I do bad thing. So bad thing happen. I get kicked.
He regrets it. He feels regretful for it.
I get kicked out. Sure. I get kicked out of school.
He's not gonna do it anymore. Yeah.
I get kicked out of school. I get into homeschooling, and my grandparents were like, "Hey, there's this military school thing. Do you want to do it?" And in my head, I'm like, "I'm not a bitch. Yeah, I'll do it." Like, yeah, you got to go live there for 6 months and you'll get your GED and you'll be done with school. And I'm like, oh, kind of sucks that I got to live there for 6 months. But I mean, if I get my GED, I'll do it, I guess. So I have to wait half a year to go into there because I'm not old enough, right? Which this will come to play later. So I go in there, right? It's beginning of the year, right? Like 2 weeks into the new year, right? This year. So I go there, right? And I'm like not even thinking anything of it. Like, I'm like, oh, I got to go. Like, oh, I'm going to do whatever. So I get there and I'm basically like, they're driving into like a military like place and there's all these other kids here and I'm like signing stuff and like just like they're asking me all these questions. I'm like yeah and then like it hit me, like I had to get my phone up. I didn't have my phone or anything, and then it hit me. I'm like, holy shit, I'm cooked. I'm actually cooked. It's over. I'm done for. And then
you gotta mention the shit that happened while you were there too.
Yes
or shit that happened after. I'm like, yeah.
And then I go there, right? We all get on a bus, right? This is this big buff black dude, and he's like, get up. Like he's giving us all these commands, right? And then I got like a big fucking heavy bag with me with all my shit in it, and we all line up to get on this bus, and we're all crowded on this bus, and we're all driving on this military campus, and I'm just looking out the window. I see my grandparents driving by waving, and I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, that's when it hit me. I was like, yeah, my life is cooked. I'm cooked. I'm gonna be here till like midsummer. So we get there, we're getting our stuff. Like we get there and we're basically all lined up going through stuff to like get all the clothes that fit us and stuff. It's just like sweatpants and shirts and like stuff like that and like coats and stuff because it was pretty cold. And then we get all that done and then he's like, all right, I'm sorry, it hurts to talk about. He's like, all right, we're gonna go get your haircuts.
Oh yeah, that's it. I forgot about that. He goes dead bald.
Dude cuts my hair. I'm the first person up to cut my hair. He cuts my hair balding, and then he cuts it all off, and then I'm like, wow, this is the first time I'm seeing myself bald, like actually skin bald, like ever. Keep in mind,
got him looking like Elon, or got him looking like Mark Zuckerberg.
Keep in mind, my hair is way longer than this. It was down to here, and this is how it looks after that long after growing it back. It's been 6 months. Anyways, so I get my hair cut. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right, I have to turn into a robot. I have to not care about any of this. I just have to get through this because I'm cooked. So we have bunk beds, right? We're in like a thing, and like I'm putting myself in the locker, and I'm looking at all these other kids. I walk in the barricade, which is like just like on both sides. There's just rows of bunk beds and like little spaces in between them. And so I'm walking by, coming in here, and I just see all these kids sitting down because at the end of the bunk beds, you like can pull out like a seat, and I'm looking at all these kids and they're like traumatized. They're all bald. They're all traumatized. They're all sitting down, dead silent. And I'm like, what the fuck? I sit down and I look over to one of the kids and I'm like, how long you been here? And he's like, he just looks at me. He's like, 2 days. And I'm like,
oh, hell no.
What the
2 days?
Fuck? What the fuck? And then, yeah.
That shit's crazy.
So then pretty much, long story short, while I was there, we had to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. It was cold as shit too. 5 a.m. every single day. What a dude would do is basically the first day was completely fine. We didn't really do that much. We just got all our stuff ready. And then like, yeah, that was pretty much it. And we went to sleep. The thing when you go to showers is you get your shower stuff on, right? Oh, no. You take your clothes off, right? Basically, like, it's weird because he lines us all up, right? He picks 6 of us because there's 6 showers. He lines us up at the front of the bathroom. So basically the bathrooms is like, you go in at the right side, and that's where where like there's like urinals and there's like 3 urinals and like 2 stalls and like a sink with like 3 sinks in it. And then over if you walk in at the other side, there's a wall. That's where the showers are, and there's 6 showers there. It's like, you know, like whenever a urinal, like how there's like things that you can't see.
Yeah, stalls, or like the basic urinal stall.
Things in the way. Yeah, that's what the showers were. So
like the
like,
blind.
you couldn't see. Like you could see like from like here upwards. People could see. More like here, people could see. But like you couldn't see down there. Yeah. So yeah, which thank God, bro. Like thank God. But yeah, so he basically lined us all up, and then he makes us go into a circle around where the urinals are and line up on the wall that's like in the way of where the showers are and that. And basically what we do is like, all right, take them off. So what we have to do is everyone takes a towel, wait, because he makes us change into like shorts and a shirt. So basically take a towel, wrap it around your waist, and then somehow your hand and get into like your shorts and your underwear and take them off with the towel wrapped around you. You don't have to do that. That's more so like everyone does that because they don't want people seeing their dick and shit. So you're having to do that and take everything off and then put the towel, wrap it around you, right? Have it around you, and basically just get in a line, right? And then so we're just standing in line, and then he calls us off. He's like 1 or whatever, and then we go in. Basically, he says 1, right? So we go in. He lists us all off. We're standing like this, right? Like we're standing on the wall in the line, and we all have to turn around like this, right? Because he's at the entrance. You know what I'm talking about? He's at the entrance, right? We're all like this. There's a wall right here. On the other side of the wall is the showers. We're all like this, and then he's like 1, and so we have to turn around, and then there's a hanger thing, right? Right before you go into the showers, there's a hanger thing. We have to hang our towels on there. So he's watching the row, and so he doesn't look at us. But we're walking in, and we're going to the left of him, and we're just taking our towel off, getting butt-ass naked, and then walking into the shower, right? And it's the same thing when you get out. And then you go into the shower, and then you have to yell. He's like, "Sir, what, sir?" Or whatever like shower number you're in. And it's the same thing when you get out. It's the same rotation basically. But yeah, that's a whole thing. And then I think we had 6 minutes to shower. So yeah, and then what's another thing that happened? Yeah, another thing, it's like soon as you wake, right? So we do that, right? I keep like going off track. We get done the first day, then we go to sleep, and then like how the sleep thing work is turns all the lights off, and there's this old dude that just walks by all night long, making sure we're not like doing anything, right? We putting flashlights on us and shit. And so I'm like at the end of like the barricades because it goes alphabetical order, and I'm like right in the middle of the alphabet. So I'm like right at the end because it starts at A on the right side, and then it loops around to the other side, right? So whenever I'm sleeping, he keeps the bathroom light on in the back because you can like get up and ask to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and he just keeps it on so he can see, make sure nobody's doing anything. So the entire time I'm trying to sleep, I just see the light, the beam of light from the bathroom just on me, which is great. You know what I mean? And so yeah, the day comes to an end. We wake up the next day, get woken up at 5 a.m. and it's just this old dude, and he's like, what does he say? He says, "Oh my God, there's no way I forgot what he said. Oh, first call, toe the line." So basically, imagine you're sleeping, right? You're tired as shit. Your legs hurt so much because they got you marching all day, having to like be in sync with people, right? Imagine you wake up to just a beam of light, boom, out of nowhere, and you just hear a dude being like, "First call, toe the line," and then you literally have to get up, and within like 5 seconds, because if you don't do it on time, you get yelled at. Within like 5 seconds, you have to get up, put like your slides on, right? Because you got to sleep in like your shorts and stuff. Put your slides on, right, and then toe the line. There's a line on like at the end of each bunk. There's like a line thing you have to put your toes on and stand at it, and you have to stand at a position of attention. So you have to get up within 5 seconds, go to that line, and just you have to like stand straight up. You have to have your fist like this, right, and then have it right on your side, right, all the way down, and then you have to have your feet like this, pointing like this, your heels together like this, because it's uncomfortable. The position is made to be uncomfortable, right? And you can't move. You have to look directly in front of you, right? You have to do that within the span of like 10 seconds of waking up. They make you do that to basically fuck with you mentally off rip, and it's horrible.
Sounds fucking miserable.
So yeah, then we had to like do marching stuff, like marching, right? Where's people just in sync, like. And then he'll say, "I left my home," and then we have to say, it's like he's singing random shit, basically. But yeah, we would do that for like 8 hours a day. And then we would go to lunch, and when we go to lunch, you have to have your heels like this still. You can't talk to anybody, and have to look directly in front of you while you eat. And then yeah, everything has a command to it. Like, and when we get done eating, he's like, he'll say like in sync, get up or something. It's like some like military, like fancy way of saying it. That's just bullshit. And he'll say that, and so then we'll all be sitting down, and so once the time's up, up, the first person at the end of the table gets up, the next person, we all in sync have to get up and then be like this. And then he's like get your trays or some shit. And then we lean over to get our trays and we can't do anything. Then he has to say the next command. Then we get up and then he says another command and then we turn. And then we have to like in order, like put our trash away and then be in a line. Everything has a command to it. Every step has a command to it. And it is fucking god awful.
That sounds fucking miserable.
There was one time at the end of the 2 weeks, there's a thing where you're a cadet. Where you're not a cadet. You're I forgot what it's called. You're something. You're not a cadet yet. A cadet is like after you finish the 2 weeks, you become a cadet. The first 2 weeks are nothing but us learning stuff and learning what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And they were going easy on us. They weren't even doing that much to us. But then basically at the end of the 2 weeks, we gotta watch a movie. You know that Brad Pitt movie where he's like a driver, like F1 or whatever? Ever seen that?
No, I don't think so.
We gotta watch that. I'd never seen it, so it's pretty entertaining. And we gotta have like popcorn and like a big ass Snicker bar and like a Coke. And that was the first time I was like, oh my god, I feel human. I feel human right now. I'm like, oh, holy shit. So basically, I was starting to get into the schedule of things. There was a lot of times when we just had to sit there and had nothing to do, and it was so boring, and I started losing my mind. I didn't get to call my grandparents until 2 weeks of being there. I was like, yo, what's up? Like, yeah, this is so fun because it's like I can't leave. Like, I literally can't leave. But yeah, they were like really strict. And then basically how I left was I'm sitting there, we're taking a lesson, right? We're in the lunchroom and we're having to listen to this dude talk about like random shit, like your career thing. And he's like, you guys have these things in front of you. You're gonna write down all this. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna write down. So I get my name called and I'm like, fuck, there's this black dude. And so I come over to him and I'm like, sir, yes, sir. That's another thing. You have to say, sir, yes, sir. Everything you say, you have to start it with sir and then finish it with sir. But basically, he's like, do you know stuff about your education thing? Because the way that the system thing works, the first 2 weeks, you start off learning everything. Then after that, you start going into classes and doing stuff to get your GED, right? So we were just about to start that. And so he's like, you know what's going on about your school thing? And I'm like, sir, no, sir. And he's like, follow me. So I'm walking with him and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? No, he didn't even say school thing. He said, you know what's going on? And I'm like, no. I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was so cooked, and I'm sitting in like that office thing for like an hour. I was literally like over an hour. I'm just sitting there, and I'm like the entire time I'm like, so I get called into this guy's office. He's like the head dude of all of it, right? And he's basically like, he was cool as shit. Though I'm not gonna lie to you. He was like, we fucked up your shit. You are not old enough to get your GED. You're legally not old enough to get your GED, but you can get your credit. But we can't switch you over to do credit because of it was some reason. So you have to leave, but you can come back next year when you're old enough. You know, you can come back next year, right? So basically, right, I leave, right? My grandpa comes the next day and he picks me up. And but here's the thing. I heard that news and I was like, oh my God. A part of me was like, damn, I really shaved my head and went through all this for 2 weeks for literally nothing just to be able to go back home and then come back again and do it all over again for like 8 times longer. So I was like, damn, but I was also kind of like, I get to leave. And then I'm like, all right. So then I didn't get to eat anything. And it was like a birthday day. So it was like everybody that month that had a birthday got a cupcake and everybody else did too, because everything's supposed to be equal. Nobody's special. The entire point of it is like, you're not special at all. You're just like everybody else. Nothing you do, or you have to do the same as everybody else and you would get the same as everybody else. That's the whole thing, which I can respect that, honestly. And then, so everybody got a cupcake. So I go, some dude brought me a lunch thing because I had to not be in lunch because I waited for so long. So I'm leaving, right? Some other dude from my thing had to come up with me because no one can be alone. So I'm leaving and I'm telling this dude that's like in the same barricade as me, I'm like, bro, I get to go home, bro. And he's like, damn. Yeah. And I'm eating a cupcake the entire time too. And we were supposed to do this marching contest. I'm horrible at marching. I can't stay in sync at all. And I got yelled at all the time for it. So I was like, damn, I have to do this. And he was basically just like, the main dude is just like yelling at all of us, telling us how to march. So I didn't get to do it because I showed up right when they had already started. So I couldn't do it. And I had to eat too. Like they literally are like, we have to give you this much amount of time to eat. Like it's right. So I'm just sitting there at like a little table and I'm just watching them like get yelled at. And I'm like smiling and I'm like, I get to get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
And everyone was kind of looking over like, what the fuck? This dude don't got to do shit. And so then yeah. I get back in line to go after like an hour of just sitting there. And then I'm like whispering over to everybody because like, you're not supposed to talk or say anything at all. I'm whispering over to everybody because at this point, I don't even care. I'm like, I get to go home, bro. And everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, that's all everyone was thinking about. And so I was telling like the dude that was next to me in my bunk, I'm getting to go home. And they were like, damn, bro, we're going to miss you, bro. I'm like, I'm not going to miss you guys, bro. I'm sorry. I don't care. So
yeah, At that point, you just want to go home.
Yeah, I remember a dude came up to me, one of the dudes there, and he's like, yeah, I heard what's going on about your educational thing. This isn't affecting you. Like, you're still going to get through the program, right? Right? And I was like, you're still going to get through this next couple months, right? And it's not going to affect you. And I'm like, bro, I'm going home tomorrow. And he's like, oh shit, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, are you going to be here next class? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. I knew I was. But this is what I'm going to talk about, right? The way that the education thing works is basically for 5.5 months is how long it is, right? And then they have like a month period before they start the next class, right? So mine would have ended in June and they wouldn't have started the next one until July, right? So basically, I had to leave. It was the end of January I had to leave. And I got there in the middle of January. So I was there for like half of a month. So basically, I would have had to wait from February to July to go in there again for the next class. Because they had to like reset everything and all that stuff. And like get through that class too. I leave, right? Like I go up to the office the next day. I'm so jolly. The main dude of our barracks takes me with him, and I'm right. The main dude of the barracks takes me with him. Well, first I wake up and this one dude, he's cool as shit, bro. He plays COD and he's like 60, and he like is one of the people in charge of us. He's like, I heard what happened. He's like, that sucks. Like that's fucking horrible that happened to you, bro. That shit sucks so bad. And I'm sorry that's happened to you. And I'm like, yeah, bro. Like yeah. And so then he's like, so whenever we go to breakfast, I'm gonna pull you aside, and you're gonna go with the other dude that runs the barricades, and you're gonna go up there with him, and we're gonna wait till your grandpa comes. So I'm like, all right. So I go there with him. I get like a breakfast thing, like pancakes. They had eggs, pancakes. That shit was good. So I eat that. So then I just wait in the office for like an hour until my grandpa shows up. And I was like, holy fuck, bro. I'm like, this is insane. I didn't think I was going to see him. There's one point in the program where you get to go home for there's a family day, like 2 months in, and then you get to go home for like 3 days, a little bit after that. And that's it. I thought I was barely going to see my grandpa at all. And I was like, holy shit, I'm seeing him. I was like, damn. And then they basically were like, yeah, well, this is going to be my grandpa shows up. And I go, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be fun when he come back next class. Right? You know, it's all going to work out. And in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do this, bro. I don't want to do this class at all, bro. This is fucking horrendous, right?
Yeah, just miserable.
Yeah.
It's actually just horrible.
Like, I don't want to do it at all. So a couple months go by. I'm working with my grandpa, right? Like building like decks and like shit like that. I'm working with him, right? And we're getting up pretty early and we're leaving. And I get up early to go with him. We're driving in the truck, right? I'm drinking my energy drink. I'm looking at my phone. And he comes over to me. He looks over at me and he says, I got some bad news. And I'm like, somebody die or something? So he says to me, your program thing is getting shut down.
Yeah, you told me about that. You told me when it happened.
Oh my god. He basically, this is like right after my birthday too. I think this is like right after my birthday. Basically, he says, yeah, they're not going to fund it anymore, so they're shutting it down. So the class that's in there right now is the last class. So basically, if I didn't get kicked out, I would have been the last class. But because I had to get kicked out of there, and they told me I could come back next class, but next class never happened because they got shut down. So I didn't have to go into the military school shit.
Nah, that's amazing.
I literally dodged a bullet right there. So
bro, how long had I been in there for? Would you still be in there or not?
I would have gotten out barely a month ago.
Yeah, fuck that, bro.
So yeah, but I don't have to do it anymore.
Bro, didn't you say something about like something you're doing shit to kids in there or something? Like the adults, something like that?
I don't want to say too much, but basically there's this one dude in there that allegations of looking at kids like that. There was another dude in there. They have like the National Guard, like army people, like 2 of them for each barricade to like look over the stuff for the first 2 weeks. One of them, he was a straight dickhead to people. Like he was such an asshole that they had to kick him out. And the main dude had to apologize to everybody, being like, yeah, he was unacceptable and we had to get rid of him. I was like, damn. But one of them was like a barricade sergeant. That's like a main like dude that like watches over the barricade. And what I can tell you from my experience, at least, we had to do a check thing where basically we had to get like naked, right? And he had to check us for like bruises or marks to see if we were abused, and for like birthmarks in case like something bad happens to us, so it could be like identified. And well, obviously we had a towel wrapped around us and everything, and he would just tell us to lift it up, like not really near that area, but yeah. And it was him that did that. So I think everyone was just weirded out that they had to do it, so they just made it up. I don't know. But basically also, I literally was, I said like for shower time, like he just looks forward, right, at the row, and you go here to take your towel off, right? Right?
Yeah.
If you're at the end of like the little like loop they do in the bathroom, you can see the person taking their towel off to get in the shower.
Fuck that.
So yeah, and he's there. So all he used to do is peek over. He peeked over at me while I was taking my towel off, and he said, "Oh my!" He looked at me while I was naked, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I didn't say anything. I was like, "All right." So I was like, "Damn." And then that dude got like allegations apparently, and then he either like stepped down from his position and like became like I don't know. He like runs like tractors and shit there. He got demoted or something, or he just stepped down because people were saying shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't have to go there anymore, though. It's over. It's over. Yeah.
I know. You got lucky. And wasn't there like a thing about how you Googled it and there was like some girl who killed herself or some shit there? Or, like,
that's why they got shut down, because I think they were getting sued by the parents of a girl that killed herself while she was there. And so they got shut down for it.
Which honestly, that's exactly what should happen. They should have to shut down if they have people killing themselves. That's actually unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's crazy shit.
That shit was wild. But yeah, that was a whole rant. That was a long rant. But I had to tell him that.